What's up, guys? Welcome to Nephilim Files 5. What this ultimately represents and how I'm doing it is there's a series of experiments going on, and at this point, engaged in fishing in an area that these creatures are trying to get into. There's a huge pond, but there's no bush surrounding this pond, and they're trapped in the tree line. They want it. It's like, why else would they be there, right? It's a freshwater source that doesn't have any salt in it. It's clean rainwater, right? And it's above the aquifer. So we're seeing these creatures in the tree line, but they can't get down to get a drink in the daytime because there's no bush around this pond. What I'm hearing while I'm fishing is this cracking and all this. Well, the other day, I saw something. Here it is. So where's all this leading, man? Well, I've never seen the creatures in this place. I've never seen the creatures anywhere near this area or this pond. And it wasn't until we started to do our research on the aquifer 3 years ago that we even realized that any of this was possible. But these were all this stuff that you're seeing was all predicted. We predicted all of this, that these creatures would at some point arrive at this pond, that it's one of the only isolated water sources separate from the aquifer. Our data indicates that the creatures are in these higher ground areas searching for this isolated water. Why would they do that? Again, sea levels are rising despite the fact that the news in Florida and the media is not covering all of this. There is a very drastic situation that at some point somebody in the state of Florida is going to say it's just too late. We've had, and it's like, why didn't we get warned about this? Look, man, We're desalinating water in Martin County. Martin County is halfway up. It's at the tip of Lake Okeechobee. That's halfway up the state, dude, almost. And here we go. We're getting the salt water is literally getting up into the areas where the Great Florida Aquifer is concentrated. So we've got all these huge cave systems up in Central Florida. That's up by the Donnie Miller area, Manatee Springs. You see what footage we're bringing. As hard as it is for people to believe, that's on them. Data does not lie. It's a record of what was going on when you were there. It's that simple. It's goofballs that talk themselves into alternative explanations for what's on film, not look to try to explain it. Not explain it away, but explain it. We've done that scientifically. You can look all of the information that we're giving you up. Look up Martin County water quality. Look up Martin County desalinization rules. You have to desalinate. This is coming in, forcing whatever is underground to the surface. And that's salt water. Well, if they're above the ground and they're drinking and the water starts to have salt in it, it can damage their biosystem. Same way it can damage yours. Within 24 hours, you're going to start losing your mind, actually. And I know this firsthand because I've been a commercial fisherman and been at sea my whole life. You don't drink the salt water, bro. That's not what you do. You die that way. And so these creatures are in a life and death struggle, and it's going completely underneath the radar of all of the human beings that are occupying their territory. This is the most ridiculous situation. We're an invading army, an invading horde. And these guys are looking out at us from our undeveloped areas. People don't realize it's not just Bigfoot, man. As you can see, that thing does not look like a Bigfoot. It looks like a giant squirrel. In fact, we named it Sandy after the one in SpongeBob because it looks exactly like Sandy. Watch it again. Tell me that shit doesn't look like Sandy the squirrel. The only thing she's missing is the diving helmet, man. It's ridiculous. Why am I, you know what I mean? I'm like, dude, I'm not even, I don't want to see things like this. I don't want to see this, but it's happening and I can't change it. And I'm telling you, the data is pointing to something significant, man, when creatures are this close to my house. So this is literally the same clip, and I'm going to try to shoot the train, and I catch this. Note that the giant individual is cutting off our view of the train rushing past behind it. The persistence of the creatures to be where they need to be supersedes their fear of human development. This creature is within 75 yards of my neighborhood. And no, I'm not okay with it. As you can see, you can't see the train running behind it. You can normally see through these bushes. We should be seeing that train rushing by. The eastern corridor and the higher grounds of the bluffs of the east coast of Florida is occupied territory. There are giant sasquatch, giant Nephilim, and I'm convinced that that's what these guys are, the Nephilim. And they're all over the eastern seaboard of Florida in places you would least suspect. That's a train running behind this creature. As you can see, it's blocking our view of it. I estimate that this particular creature is between 15 and 18 feet tall, based on how big I am in that same spot. You can see the train running behind it there, and you can see the creatures in there watching me fish. We'll get better footage. So we have both creatures in the same exact clip, and this is the actual clip I was shooting. I heard the train coming and started a new one, and now I'm going to pan to the right and follow the train, and both creatures are literally in this footage. I'm going to look for the train, and here comes the train, and it's about to pass by. And I'm looking over there, and I'm like, man, I can't see through to see that train. That usually is, you can see through that whole area. What's going on? Now we know. So this is great right here. Watch this thing, man. Now I'm fishing, and here's this creature. It's in the bushes, and we're going to still frame it, but he's watching me, and the ducks are about to fly in front of him and finally give us a little bit of scale as to how large these creatures are. Watch this. The creature's right there, and we freeze framed it so you can get a good look at basically the creature's head and the blackness of its body. But watch now, here come the ducks. The ducks are going to fly in front of it. They're in the lower left-hand side of the screen, and they're flapping their wings. And you can see on the side there in the circle, the Bigfoot's there. Here it comes. Here it comes. Uh-oh. Ooh, it looks like he, is looking at the ducks as they fly by. He kind of turns his head a little bit. Look at the size of him. That's what we're dealing with here, folks. These creatures are enormous. Here comes another duck flying right in front of it. Dude, these things are gigantic. That's a 25-foot sasquatch, man. It's real. It's blending in right there. You can even see like its eyes from time to time, or it's watching me, its nose. Crazy. So it's nice to know the kids haven't changed much, and in Jupiter, at least, everybody's pretty much doing the same things that we did when we were kids back in the 1980s. In fact, it's the same bridge. Cato's Bridge, Jupiter, Florida. A popular destination for summertime thrill seekers. And occasionally, just occasionally, somebody gets a little off center and goes home with a world-class welt upon their ass. Such as this young lady right here. I'd probably break my hip if I did that right now, man. Nephilim Files. It's your world. Go take a look.